Have you ever walked away from a relationship feeling exhausted, confused, or emotionally drained, but you couldn't explain why? You weren't abused, you weren't screamed at, nothing obviously wrong happened, and yet something inside you slowly collapsed. That's because not all emotional damage comes from bad intentions. Sometimes it comes from patterns of anxiety, patterns of control, patterns of ego, patterns of instability. And today, we're going to talk about how different personality patterns and psychological traits can quietly damage you over time, even when the person doesn't see themselves as the problem. This is not about labeling people. This is about protecting yourself. Before we begin, let me be very clear. This video is not about diagnosing mental illness. Only professionals can do that. What we're talking about are behavior patterns, how certain traits impact you emotionally when you are close to them, because regardless of intent, impact still matters. Let's start with one of the most common and most draining patterns: anxious personalities. Anxious people don't mean to hurt you, but their constant worry slowly becomes your burden. They overthink everything. They imagine worst-case scenarios. They need constant reassurance. And at first, you feel helpful. You listen, you comfort, you calm them down. But over time, their anxiety becomes contagious. You start carrying fears that were never yours. You start walking on eggshells to avoid triggering them. You feel responsible for their emotional stability, and that responsibility is exhausting. Obsessive or controlling types. Obsessive personalities don't just want things done right, they want things done their way. They correct you, they micromanage you, they constantly point out flaws. At first it feels like standards, later it feels like pressure. You stop relaxing, you stop being yourself. You feel like nothing is ever enough, and slowly your confidence erodes, not from insults, but from constant correction. Quick question. Have you ever felt emotionally tired in a relationship even though nothing bad was happening? If this feels familiar, leave a comment below. You're not alone in this. And the important one is narcissistic personalities. Narcissistic patterns are different. They don't drain you quietly. They drain you by centering themselves. Your needs become secondary. Your emotions get minimized. Your boundaries get ignored. You give more, they take more. They may charm you, they may flatter you, they may even betray you. And when you're hurt, they make it about themselves. The damage here is deep because it attacks your sense of worth. If you want to understand human behavior, emotional manipulation, and how to protect your boundaries, make sure you're subscribed. This channel is about awareness, not blame. Another type is paranoid or suspicious types. Paranoid patterns damage trust. They question your intentions. They doubt your honesty. They accuse without evidence. No matter how transparent you are, it's never enough. You feel constantly on trial, and over time, you start defending yourself against things you never did. That constant defense breaks emotional safety. Next one is bipolar-like emotional swings. Emotional instability is one of the hardest patterns to live with. One day they're warm, the next day they're distant, then suddenly overwhelmed. You never know which version you'll get. So you adapt, you adjust, you suppress your needs, not because you don't matter, but because there's no space for you. That unpredictability creates chronic emotional stress. This one is the very important one, and that's perfectionists. Perfectionists rarely attack directly. They criticize constructively. They point out improvements. They notice what's missing, but rarely what's enough. Over time, you feel inadequate even when you're doing your best. Love starts to feel conditional. Acceptance feels earned, not given, and that slowly damages self-esteem. The last but not least, attention-seeking or histrionic types. These personalities need constant attention. If the focus isn't on them, they feel invisible. Your emotions get overshadowed. Your struggles get minimized. You become the audience, not the partner. And eventually, you feel emotionally unseen. Here's the most important thing to remember. Not everyone with these traits is a bad person, but not everyone is safe for your nervous system. Understanding patterns doesn't make you judgmental. It makes you aware. And awareness is how you protect your energy. If this video helped you understand something about your past or present relationships, I recommend watching the other videos on this channel. We go deeper into psychology, manipulation, and emotional self-protection. You're not weak for feeling drained. You are responding to patterns, not imagining them.